No, already moved. I don't know.
Alright, so my project is that thing, the flying machine, and yes, that is a toaster on the front. You know why? Because, well, just because I can, and just gotta deal with it. So, so first of all, the reason why I built this is to show how our obligation as a global citizen, and kind of show an analogy of the whole globe or a group's goal as, you know, as citizens of the globe, I guess. So here I'm showing you how these components and these parts could, and these groups of components and parts, really, that's all they are, can be like you in the global citizen as, working together for a common goal. So, first of all, how many of you have rode a bike before? Okay, so now, how about ridden in a car, or maybe even drove a car, or a little bit? Flown in a plane? How about one of these, the super fast trains that we Any of you crew members of the Starship Enterprise?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So anyways, one thing these all have in common is they're all made of many different parts working together to create a common goal, either get you from point A to point B, or just like a chain of a bicycle, just turn a wheel. Again, same thing, turning a wheel, but a lot faster. Or powering the entire work core to get from one point to another faster than the speed of light. And it's a good part. So, those parts can be broken down into smaller parts. Because if the whole chain was just one part, that would be all we would have. But no, we have the gear, chain, the wheel, the pedal, yada yada yada. So, but how does that relate to you? So, I'm going to explain using this. It's the regular old circuit board that I had laying around. So first of all, I'm just going to show you this part right here. That is the input. That's where electrical signals come in, and it gets processed, and come out different than the output. But in the middle, there's quote unquote the brain. That's what tells each different parts and the different circuits on there what to do. It just thinks, really. And then we have the sensors that kind of do a lot of the work and tell the brain what is going on, and then the brain sends that to the output. So then we also have this business for updates. You plug it into the computer, changes code, and if something goes wrong, you change it again until it works right. But then you have these guys over here. Those are the other stuff. They just do all the simple stuff. I just reduce voltage, blink on when something happens, the simple stuff. But doesn't mean they're not as important. I'm going to change the wording of all this. So instead of input, there are resources and the product. Resources can be anything. Anything from wood to make, the wooden sculpture, or metal to make a car. The product would be the sculpture of the car. But in the middle, there is always central control, something that is managing the whole thing and watching everything, making sure nothing goes wrong. We also have specialty. These are the craftsmen, the people in factories working with not just turning a knob all the time, tightening a bolt, but actually using their skill set as a way of making their, whatever the product would be, as best as possible. Now, also, we still have this. Those are changes. So like in my 20% project, at first I thought I was making a music video, but then I decided to change it as I'm not very, as some of you may laugh, I'm not very an extroverted person. Now, still, these are the basic workers. Again, these are the guys that are just on the assembly line, just putting the bolt in, and just passing it to the next guy so that he can screw the bolt down. Now, this layout, although it seems like it's just simple resources, product, central control, can all be linked to many things. Factories, obviously, to restaurants, and to the office cubicles we all see. So, many aspects of life can be seen anywhere. Even in school, we have the principals and the assistant principals do all the thinking. And then we have things like the treasury, if we have one, I'm not so sure. And that manages all the money. That's one of the specialties. So, again, this is shown through the car and the airplane. They have many different parts working together, but with the cars nowadays, they all have a computer to control everything, and a plane, well, obviously should have a computer, because if it didn't, we probably wouldn't be flying them. And now, but the plane obviously needs more because it holds more people, it's a lot more advanced than a car, and it moves faster. But then again, the Star Trek Enterprise still wins this. So, you as a person, just like this component, it just does one thing and just sits in one place. And it does whatever it can as best as possible. But, okay, so take a group of you, and you work together for a common goal, and not just become one component, you become an entire sort of section of the circuit board. That's kind of what it's like. So, it's a little bit better. Now, if you take lots of you, just a lot of you with the same goal but different actions, it becomes something like that. Or this drone here, which I actually like the GIF. So, it's not bad. So, now you might be wondering, Lewis, why did you choose to make a giant 10-foot wingspan airplane that carries a toaster on the front, instead of just making a smaller plane? Well, first of all, because I can. Second of all, because I already had a lot of the parts, and I was planning to build this anyways over the summer. So, I just built it. So, first of all, I had to design it. First of all, I had to sketch it out in my sketchbook. I had 5 different designs, and then I had to use a 3D program to sort of visualize it. So then, here it is, started as a rectangle, just chilling. Then we had the wings, there was the tail section, then I added some color in because it's nice. And the final product is this, 10-foot wingspan, and giant, and pretty much just, yeah. Now, here I have a video of me building the plane, and I had to speed it up because it's too long, and it's a time lapse. This took approximately 3 days, and there are a lot of problems with it. First, actually no, sorry, not problems. This is one thing where I'm just going to call it the control flow of resources, product to control center, work out. So I am both the control center and the specialty. I'm using my hands to work the foam and cut it and fold it and shape it and all that. The glue gun is over there that I'm in front of currently. It's like just the simple workers. All they do is just heat up plastic until they need it to be squeezed out. And also that tape right there, that's all it does. It just suspends its tape. But without that, I could not make the moving parts of the airplane or anything. So they're still as important. Oh, where did it? Oh, I guess I can skip it. So here it is, the plane practically finished. And as you can see, my room isn't exactly the largest room in the world. So that's one obstacle I had, was building a room. As you can see, the wing over that's being blocked by the lamp actually had to go into my closet because it was really big. That's probably why I second doubted myself in the beginning stages, but then I thought, you know what, that's just going to make for a good comedy during my presentation, so why not? So, as I continue on, there's a lot of this in my project. Not so much the crying, but more like hair tearing out, why not working, and especially this one. A lot of face palms. For example, the motors, there's a speed controller that controls how fast they spin. I had to connect 2 wires to the antennas over there, the toaster, and at first I only connected 1, and I thought that didn't work. So then I had to go to plan B because that actually happened on Sunday, this Sunday, because I'm in hardcore procrastination. So when it didn't work, I decided, you know what, why not just try the stupidest idea of actually connecting that last wire, and it worked, and I did that for 3 minutes. So, but despite all of this, this was worth it. Just the feeling in the end when it actually worked, and I lifted the toaster and all that. The toaster actually I just decided to add the day I wanted to start. So now, here I have a video of it. I'm going to play it. There's a lot of grunts in it because it's heavy. So anyways, this project was made to show our obligation as a global citizen. But exactly what is that? Because I haven't exactly finished the presentation yet. First of all, I'm just going to say this once. A lot of people, in something Miss Seidler or Miss Albright showed us, a lot of people wanted to be engineers. And that's a good thing. But obviously, we can't all be engineers. The same as not everything in a circuit board can be a capacitor or a diode or even the smart stuff. We can't all be the smart stuff. And being humans, we want to be popular, but we can't all be popular. Or we can't all be rich and, owners of $1 million companies. But what we can be is what we happen to be. What we happen to be in the future. You have the power of choice still. You can be, either if you end up as a worker at McDonald's, do your job as best as you can, because even then, you might even attract attention. And if you're going to be, if you somehow end up being a popular celebrity, or even just an engineer, like I wish to be, you have to do your job as best as you can, because the world doesn't care what you do, it's just how well you do it. And yes, you can. That's my presentation.